Hey all, Hipper here. So today we are taking a look at the Tier 6 Pan-European destroyer, the Öland. And I have, made videos on the ship here before, but I haven't really touched it since then, although I really like it. I think it's one of the more enjoyable destroyers to play in the game. And, kind of the point of this video here is, do you really need the Tier 7 when Öland is in the game? And I don't really think you do. There's a few reasons for that. Like first of all, because Öland is just really, really good. I mean, it's so much better than the Tech Tree, the Skåne. I mean, it has it's just it's like a tier higher, really, in my opinion. So there's really no comparison between Öland and Skåne. Öland is just flat out better by quite a large margin, actually. So that brings us to the actual Tier 7, the Östergötland. And is it worth it? I don't think so, because the thing with Östergötland is that once you play that ship, you are playing up at Tier 7, where there's far more, dangerous cruisers with radar, and you're not gonna get mixed up with Tier 5 ships anymore. And I mean, I know you can get mixed up with Tier 7s when you play a Tier 6, but you're not guaranteed when you are guaranteed to get mixed up with at least Tier 7s when you play Östergötland. So with that in mind, is it really worth, like spending the extra XP and Sil and all that stuff to actually get the Tier 7? And I don't think so. I think it's only, like, it's situationally better than Öland, only in certain circumstances. And yeah, the torpedoes are way faster, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that much better that it's a whole tier higher. I don't think so. So I don't really play Östergötland a lot. I play Öland quite a bit still, because I really enjoy it. I think it's very, very nice spot. It's in pretty much the perfect destroyer tier here, Tier 6, where, you still get to play with like all the interesting ships, but there's not that much radar to worry about. And if you get mixed up with a carrier, it's usually a Tier 5 carrier. So it makes things a lot easier and a lot more, like, it's not so hard on the destroyers as destroyer play at Tier 7 and Legendary tier is. So that's why I enjoy this ship here. And I enjoyed Skåne before that, but like I said, there's no reason to play Skåne if you buy the premium, that is, because obviously this is a premium ship, and it's probably one of the more, obvious, like, pay and you get a better ship, because it is just, like I said, it's flat out better than the Tech Tree Tier 6 in almost any way, every way. I mean, it's only slightly behind the Tier 7, and only in torpedo speed. All, like, some of the other smaller differences in stats, they don't really matter that much, especially, like I've already touched upon, when you take the Östergötland up to like a guaranteed Tier 7, then if you compare Öland and Östergötland, just, at their respective tiers, then obviously Öland is the one to go for if you like these pan-European destroyers here. Because it's at the best spot, it's the best ship, and just overall, it's just the best destroyer in the line, really, in my opinion. And I don't think that's a very, special opinion. I think most people actually agree with me here. So of course that opens a different question here, that the fact that you have to pay to get a Tier 7 down here at Tier 6, that's kind of, makes me think about the whole Weimar controversy. And I mean, that's still a thing, because Weimar is still at Tier 6, and Weimar definitely does not belong at Tier 6. It's way too powerful. I was playing a battle today, actually, where I was in a Gorizia and I ran into a Weimar, and I dodged all his torps, and he was actually broadside on in the beginning, so I got a full AP salvo into him and citadel him a few times, and then I dodged all his torps, and then I went at him with SAP, and he was using HE against me the whole time, and I was bow on, and still the Weimar came out victorious. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That is just it's just not fair, really. So like, the quicker that ship goes to tier 7, the better. And even then, I think at this thing in general, the ship is just too strong for what it is. So even putting it up at tier 7, yeah, it's gonna help, but I think it would have been better just to dial the ship down, because it's just crazy. I mean, it has insane DPM along with torpedoes. I mean, if you took the torpedoes off the ship, okay, maybe even then I think it would still be like too powerful. And that's before you remove the torpedoes. Yeah, that ship is just ridiculous. And of course, Öland is nowhere near as ridiculously overpowered as Weimar is. So here I just get to test out my anti-carrier thing here, and it works beautifully. I love that on this destroyer here, by the way. It's one of the things that sets it apart. Like, when a carrier attacks you, like, you're happy. You're like, woohoo, excellent. And you just shred those planes quickly and easily, and it's all good fun. So that's why it's a fun ship to play. And in general, these pan-European destroyers here, they're fun to play. And I mean, that's what you want in a console game. You want it to be fun to play. So I highly recommend Öland. If you enjoy the line, I'd say it's pretty much a must to buy this ship here, because it's just so well rounded and so good that you'll be kicking yourself for not owning it if you enjoy the tier 6. I especially like how the torpedo damage is just so much higher on Öland, and the reload on the guns is also just so much better than on Skåne. So it just completely outperforms Skåne in the two most, important areas. I believe the torpedo reload is a little bit slower on this premium here, but really doesn't really matter much. So here we've got this unlucky Benson here caught between two destroyers. So I'm going to go the other way here to make sure that he doesn't, run away into the deep blue sea again. Because as you can see on the map, we have another destroyer approaching from the other side of the island. We'll be able to pinch this guy here and make sure he doesn't escape. And of course, there's torpedoes coming, but these things here actually turn really nicely. And we don't have an agile pan-European commander, so I can't put an agile build on these ships here, but I think it will work really well, actually. I can't wait to try it, but of course we need the commander first, and who knows when that'll happen. Probably never, because I don't even know if pan-European cruisers exist. If you know, well, just let me know in the comments. I can't remember right off the top of my head here, but I don't think so. Maybe they will in the future, because I know especially Sweden had some quite interesting cruisers that should be pretty doable adding into the game. But we'll see. So Öland, of course, it's 12,500 doubloons. So I mean, it's not a cheap ship. It's a tier 6. And like I said, if you enjoy the pan-European line, then I mean, there's no better pick in that line than Öland. It's in the perfect spot. It's well rounded, and it's just a whole lot of fun to play. Östergötland is great as well, but you have to, enjoy what you could enjoy at tier 6 at tier 7. I mean, if you can live with that, then go with Östergötland and save the 12,500 doubloons. And you'll get a slightly better ship as well. Only slightly, though. Öland is not my favorite destroyer, though. That honor still goes to the German, the Z39. Because I just think that ship is just so versatile, and it's just so great at, sonaring other destroyers. That's really what you do in that ship, and it's just so good at it. I really, really enjoy playing that ship. Get into the cap, smoke up, and as soon as someone challenges you, then pop your sonar on, and if you don't sink them, then you're pretty much sure your team will. And of course, you can use that sonar to spot everything around. I believe it's 5.4 kilometers or something like that, and that's just so handy. So your job as a destroyer just becomes so much easier when you play the Z39, and that's why I like it. But anyway, this video is not about Z39, it's about Öland, and I guess you know by now that I like it and I would recommend it. So we're about to finish off this battle here, and like I've been pretty much been spotting the whole time and not really been like too worried about taking gunfights, because the guns on this thing here, they're just excellent. And then when you need to fire the torps, you can just quickly go ahead and do it, and they have such a nice range to them, so you don't really have to worry about someone running away from you or anything like that. You can still hit them with torps, which is of course the main use for this long range here. I mean, like, no one's really going to torp a broadside battleship at 12-kilometer range, because I mean, chances are that whoever's in that battleship would probably turn or slow down or do something by the time the torpedoes hit. But someone running away, for example, from a cap or from like superior numbers, well, those 12-kilometer torps, they're really, really handy, because even if they're like at 8-kilometer distance from you, you can still fire your torpedoes and just give them a little, nudge that, yeah, just stay away from here. So much utility in the ship here. It's just such a shame it doesn't have a sonar. Then it would be my favorite destroyer, but obviously that would also make it super overpowered, even though it doesn't have smoke. But it would still be able to, coax other destroyers out of their smoke and, spot them for the whole team and stuff like that. So yeah, I get why it doesn't have it, but it would still be one of my, sweaty dreams, along with, a main battery reload boost for Shah Martel. But probably not gonna happen. So we're approaching the end of the battle here, and I'm just shooting a few torps this way here, because I'm gonna go to the right around this rock here, and then I just shot one set of torps just in case that destroyer comes, barging around the other side, and then I still keep a set in case. You never know. But as it so happens, I don't really have to worry about anything, because the points are running out, and we are about to win this battle here. And that was an Öland battle for you guys, and it's worth the 12,500 doubloons, in my opinion. Absolutely. I think it's a very, very interesting and good and capable ship. So hope you enjoyed this video here, guys, and I'll see you out there.